What's going on, everybody? Really appreciate you guys' company. Thanks for joining me for this video. My uncle-in-law recently bought out a house. The previous owner was a car painter, a mechanic, and he had a garage full of stuff that I was able to go through. I found probably a couple of $1,000s worth of car parts, some dating as far back as the 1930s. Paid very little for this stuff. It was really a great sourcing opportunity, a lot of really cool stuff. But one of the coolest things that I found right as I was leaving, the scrap man literally had it on the trailer. He was gonna go to the scrap yard for a couple dollars in metal. I pulled out a Redline 500b BMX bike that I think we're gonna be able to sell for $500 or $600. The last few comps show that it's worth about that much. This one's not in the greatest of shape, but it's a really cool bike, and I think I'm gonna part it out because I don't want to deal with shipping a whole bicycle. So let me show you some of the things I'm gonna take off, what they're worth, and you definitely want to keep an eye out for these and learn how to ship them because there is huge money in old BMX bikes. Let me show you what I picked up. Alright guys, so here it is in all its glory. I know what you're thinking, it doesn't look like much, it is old, it's all rusty, it's really not in the greatest of shape at all. But you cannot find these. This is an extremely rare bike at this point. It's, you know what, 40 years old, 35 years old. And it's just crazy to find one at all. So the goal is to get it down to mostly just a frame. The frame will be reasonable to ship, and I think the frame's going to be the biggest chunk of money. I'm hoping we can get $300 or so for just the frame and maybe the handlebars. But the goal is to get the wheels off, the pedals off, the seat, and just show you guys kind of what I got going on and what some of this stuff is going to be worth. I think it's going to surprise you. Stay tuned. Alright guys, I have never taken apart a bicycle before. I honestly don't know exactly what I'm doing. But we're going to try and get these pedals off real quick, and I will show you what they're worth. Alright, here's the first pedal. Relatively easy to get off. It's got spiders and cobwebs all over it. We do have a VP300 stamp on here, so it should be pretty easy to identify. And I'm going to post my actual listings up so you can see what I price everything at, but it's the first chunk. Okay, we got the first pedal off. This second pedal is giving me a very hard time. I'm going to move on to the wheels right now. As you may be able to see, this has an Ukai sticker on the wheel. They're made by Ukai, that's the brand name. These are a pretty well made wheel for 80s BMX. It appears they are worth a little bit. So we'll take them off, or try to. Alright, here's the first wheel. Really surprised me. It had two like separate nuts, not a solid axle going through. I guess that's probably a sign of the quality because it came off really nice, really easy. So there's the front fork and the first wheel. Alright, here's the second wheel. It does have the axle still on from the back, and it is also an Ukai wheel, so we do a matching pair. Again, they're all rusty, you know, they're not in the greatest condition, but I'll pop up a comp for everything. These are going to surprise you how much these are worth. Frame's coming along okay. It's actually a really cool bike. It's got all Anlin hardware. The sprocket is made by Anlin. Let me see if I can show you that right there. Even the brake system looks like it's worth a little bit. It is made by, let's see, Diacomp MX. The whole cable goes all the way through to the back wheel. This is a Diacomp piece also. I don't know if I'm going to separate the brakes from the frame, but it looks like just those two pieces, this and the front brake part, are worth probably $80 or so. I think I might leave them on the frame because that looks like a little too much for me. It's got these little Anlin hold on. Well, Might not be too bad to take off, but I think I'm going to leave the brakes on the frame. We'll see. Okay, also the seat has a little bit of value, so we'll try and get that off with just an Allen key. It shouldn't be too much trouble. Alright, nice condition. It looks like it's made by Velo. Note to yourself, if you're watching this video, I just learned the hard way that the left side, not the drive side pedal, releases clockwise, and your pedal that is geared releases the traditional counterclockwise way. So I just struggled for quite a while getting that pedal off, but it is off. Alright guys, so here's the Redline fully broken down, or just about as far as I'm going to break it down. We'll sell the two wheels separately. They're, I think, a 20-inch wheel. They won't be too bad to box up one on top of the other. We'll sell the seat separately. We'll sell the pedals separately. That's just WD-40. And then we have the frame itself. Like I said, I'm going to leave the brakes attached just for my own personal ease. But I am going to take these little Allen keys off right here to take the handlebars off. I'll take them off and I'll set them directly next to or beside the frame. And so the box actually won't be too big once you get everything broken down. It'll make it much easier to ship. That was the goal. Shipping a whole bicycle with the wheels on and the pedals sticking out on either side would have made for a really huge box, or would have made it a lot harder to ship. Alright, so that's kind of what I had in mind right here. I just laid the handlebars on top of the frame. It's going to make for about, I'd say, maybe a 30 by 20 by about a 10 box, so not really too bad. Definitely keep an eye out for bikes. They can definitely be worth your time. This was about an hour of labor out here in my garage, which I usually don't put forth too much labor, but here we are. Well worth it. I didn't pay anything, just happy to save this bicycle from the crusher. It was on the way to the scrap pile like I mentioned earlier, so super happy. Hopefully the no BMX guys tell me it was sacrilege to rip this bike apart, but at least the parts will live on. The bike didn't go to China in a cube, and that's the most important part. So, when you're reselling, think outside the box. So hopefully this helps you. Don't be scared to ship a bicycle. Great idea I learned on Instagram. If you need to ship a frame or any bicycle, go to the bike store, ask for a bike box. That should make it easy. That's what I plan on doing with this one. But that's going to wrap up the video. Appreciate you watching me break it down. Hopefully this helps you sell some bikes online. If you come across one and you think, how could I ship that? You can ship it like this. You can save the parts, and somebody else's bike will live on from the parts from that bike. It's a lot easier than shipping the whole bike. So hope that helps. Thanks. Bye.